Hi everyone, it's Tammy at Frou-frou Studio and welcome back to my channel today. I am going to be working on my design team project for the month of November for Sweet Pea Curiosities. And I have been working on this journal, which is the first journal in my rainbow series that I am going to be working on throughout the year, where I am going to make a journal for each color of the rainbow, and of course the first is red. So this one I have chosen to do as my design team project because Marissa has this beautiful red floral digital that I wanted to use in this particular journal. And so I am using her red floral journal or kit, and I am also using her vintage attic ephemera kit. And that's the two that you will see in here. Most everything else that's in here is from my stash of authentic ephemera and book pages and things like that. There may be one or two other digitals by someone else, but if there is, it's not much. It's mostly just her kits and stuff from my stash. So as you can see, I have it quite filled already. Now, some of this bulk is where I have stuff stuck in to make pages, but I don't actually have everything glued down and put in place yet. But it is going to be a chunky journal, which I knew it was going to be, and that's one reason that I used this shipping envelope for the cover, so that it would be more flexible to add the bulk that I knew I was going to be adding. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to do some page layouts. This is the one I did the other day for I Sewed on Pinterest, and this is what it looks like in the journal. If you did not see that, there is a separate video for how I did this, and it also has who the original person that made the page that I went by. So that's what you see when you first open the journal. And then, like I said, I have some authentic vintage ephemera in here, along with the digital. And so let's get started. This is the first page I want to finish putting together. I tried to do several and have everything ready so we could do several in the video, rather than just doing like one layout and it all the time being up in the video. This is just out of the replica Montgomery Ward catalog, and it's just a page that has stationery on it, and I just ripped it down, and I'm going to ink it up a little bit, and I'm just going to put it in there behind this tag, just for a little bit of added interest, and to put, you know, kind of another vintage inspired piece in here. The premise of this journal, of course, is things you would find in an old attic. So it's got a little bit of everything. There's not really any much rhyme or reason to it, because, you know, that's, I think, what happens in an attic. It's, you know, everything gets stuffed up there, and it may not have a reason for being there. Now, this tag I made a while ago, and it is kind of based on writing, and it's got pen nibs and whatever. This paper that's in the background I got in Germany at like a stationery bookstore kind of store over there, and then it just has, you know, a little collage on the front, and it has some writing paper on the back. And what I want to do is I want to hinge it so that it will flip out like this, so that you can write on the back of it. And then I'm just going to stick that little stationery advertisement or catalog piece behind it. So I need a strip to hold that. Let's see what I can find here. I'm just looking at my little scrap pieces over on the side, looking for something that is sturdy enough. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm going to cut a piece off this. This is just coffee dyed paper. And it is 2 layers thick, so it is a little thicker. And I'm just going to make a little hinged piece, and then we're going to glue it to the back of the tag and on the page, and that will allow that to flip out. I'm just going to cut it a little straighter here because I didn't fold it very straight. There we go. So we will glue it here. Now, you could choose to do this either way. Either you could glue it to the top, or you could wrap it around. And I'm just going to glue it to the top so it doesn't wrap around the other side. That way I won't have to deal with the hinge, you know, decorating it or whatever on the other side of the page. All right, so I want it. Always have to double check myself, otherwise I would be gluing this on entirely wrong. Okay, now let's put some glue on here. And glue it to the page, and we're going to go right up to the edge so we can be sure and flip it out. This is a fairly thick tag. It's like a number 6 heavy duty tag, so it's pretty stiff. So I want to make sure that I, you know, get it glued down there good. And then it also has this little corner here. Now this little corner is actually a button that I got at Joann's, and so it's not metal, it's plastic, which is good because it makes it not as heavy, but it is still bulky, of course. Okay, and then I've got a couple of feather charms right there. Now, if I find out that there's just too much bulk, when I get this finished, I can always take this bow off and put something flatter and take these, you know, little charms off. And then I could remove that as well, but I would rather keep it. So we'll do the best we can to keep it in place. Okay. And I think I could have got that a little closer to the edge. It's kind of messed my page up, but I think it'll be all right. All right, so then my little stationery department advertisement will go right there behind it. Now, on this other side, I am going to make a little pocket with this piece of scrap from the red florals paper. And I need to back it and make it a little stiffer as well. I'll use the rest of this little coffee dyed paper here. Glue it on there and then kind of just rip it the same way. And put the pin in this glue and get my glue stick instead. Excuse the reach. Oh, and before I totally forget, happy Veterans Day to all of you who have served or are serving, or even if you are the spouse or sister or brother or aunt or parent of someone who has is serving or who has served. You know, we always are ever grateful for our veterans, but being a military brat myself and the hubby being a Army retiree, I also like to acknowledge the people who stayed behind and raised the families and took care of the household and did all those kind of things. Well, so, you know, they could go off and serve the country and know that things at home are being taken care of, because let's face it, especially, you know, in a time of conflict, as I can remember, you know, my dad being in Vietnam, it's very hard on the people that are left behind here, too. Not only the stress of not knowing, I should say, of, you know, what your spouse or girlfriend or whoever, boyfriend is going through, but trying to take care of, you know, the people at home and in the household as well. That's very, very stressful. So thanks to everyone who has been involved in that in one way or another in their lives, because you are special. It takes a special kind of person to give that much. Okay, so then I want to take this portrait of this young lady, and I want to take this typewriter that I fussy cut out of the kit. This is in the attic ephemera kit, and put it on this end, I think. Yeah, because her face is going that way. And then I have this little label that I want to put down here just for another piece to kind of complete that collage. So let's glue this piece first. Scoot that down. Alright. And then the label. Sorry, I had the pen in my mouth. I know, not the best place for it, but nonetheless, I did it. Okay. So we'll go glue the label down. Scoot it over just a little bit. I don't want to cover any of her face up, but I want to get it so that the typewriter is sitting like right on the edge. All right, so then I got that way too low. I'm going to glue down these little bitty pieces so they don't get ripped off. And when I cut this out, these smaller little handles and things that are on here, I didn't want to lose that detail. So what I did is kind of kiss cut around those so that they wouldn't fall off. And then I inked, and I think it looks fine. I would rather do that and not lose the little pieces than, you know, cut them off and lose the pretty detail of the piece. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this on as a pocket. So I ran my glue just down the part that I tore and then around the side and the bottom. And left this open. And then I have this postcard, which is German, from 1945. I got this at a flea market. And I'm going to stick this right down in there, just like that. So there is one done. So let's move on to the next one. Let's see if I can find it here. I've got quite a few things stuck in there. This is where the CD case that looks like a stained glass window ended up, and I just put a large journaling card with this picture from the Attic Ephemera kit behind there. And then here I did, instead of cutting each of these separately from the kit, I left them together so they look kind of like a partial button card. And then I made a tag here with an alteration tag. And then this is from a German sewing pattern there. And I put some little fabric samples on there. And that leads into this spread. On this spread, I just put some little lace, and I really like this little stitched rose. Even though it's to the pink, it does go into a deeper kind of reddish color, and I thought it went really well with the dots on this page. And then this is a photocopy of a vintage needle book, and I just thought that was interesting, so I can't part with the original, guys, so I do have it. I got it on our trip to Maine. I'm trying to find it so I can show it to you. I thought I had it sitting right over here next to me from where I ran a copy of it. There it is. So here it is, and you can see it actually does have needles in it. And it used to have a threader, but the threader was missing. And I found this at an antique store. So I just did a photocopy of it and then cut it out. So I copied both sides and put them together with 2 sheets of paper. And then cut it out. Just an idea if you do find something like that. Here's a Fussy Cat sewing machine from the kit here. On this side, this picture is from the kit. I took a Tim Holtz stencil and kind of did dots in the same colors that are on the paper on this piece of onion paper. And then this is German measuring tape, and I have a straight pin that picture photo on there, and then I'll put a piece of the old tape above, and then I wrap that German measuring tape all the way around. And then here we have 2 pockets from the kit, and I made 2 tags to go in here. This is scrapbook paper here, and this is a digital from Louisa Heinzel. I think it's called Stitched. So I do have some of that in here because I thought it went well with Sweet Peas florals, but there's not a lot. And then again, this is from the kit, and I just cut it out like it was all on a card together, and didn't stuck it down in there and put this lace on the edge. And then here's our spread we did the other day, which I still love. I think the only thing that I added is I put this little washi sticker on the football schedule because I felt like there needed to be one more red element on this side to kind of even everything out. So I put that washi. But other than that, I think everything is the same. And then when you flip it over, I put this little girl here in the pocket. And then this is a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera that I just stuck in there again for another shot of bread. Okay, so here's the next one we're going to do. And on this side, what I did is, this is one of my kite paper clips. I already had that one in my inventory, and I just thought it looked real cute with the dots on the paper. I stuck one of the pictures from the kit behind the paper clip, and then this is actually a photocopy because I only have 2 of these, and so I worked quite hard to make a photocopy and make this work. But this is a electric bill, or a lot bill, as we say in the South, from Milford, New Hampshire, and it's dated March 31st, 1923. And I found 2 of these at an antique store. It grabbed them up because I thought they were so cool. They paid $1 for 5 kilowatt hours of electricity. Wouldn't that be nice? And that is for a little over a month and 4 days that they paid that. So, and I just ran a copy front and back, glued them front and back, did the same for the envelope, and put a piece of kind of tracing paper through it, and put the envelope back together so it would look as close to the original as possible without actually being the original, because I'm greedy and I can't give my original away. And this was written in pencil on the back. So I didn't do anything to alter that. So I have that stuck up under my little kite paper clip. And then there's a piece of the onion skin paper here, which I probably will stencil that as well with the little polka dots, because I like how that came out on the other page. But what we're going to do over here is I want to make a pocket out of this lace. And I want to take this piece of Tim Holtz strip and put across the middle, just to make it a little bit more sturdy. Plus, I think the flowers on this go really well with paper. So, that's what we're going to do. I am going to use, if the journal was not already put together, I would probably sew here and here and make the pocket. But since it's already put together, I think I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac and hope that I can get through all the little holes and not have too much shiny going on. That's always a challenge when you work with Fabri-Tac, is that it does show shiny, but sometimes you have to sacrifice that. I just don't think glue stick or art glitter glue is going to hold it. So we'll put that on there. And I'm going to get a little piece of paper towel here. And dab the best I can. And then I don't have anything on the back. And I think what I'm going to do is when I put this on, I'm just going to glue the two ends, because I don't want to stick my pocket shut by putting glue on there that's going to leak through. Hey, don't start it. I may have to pause you in a minute, guys, if they get going here. It's always when I start a video, they know they can act up. Oh, she's gonna talk. That's the conversation that she has with her sister to try to get her to play. Give me just a minute, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully I've ran them off for a minute. For those of you that are new, or if you've been watching and you've noticed I've had to stop my videos, Belle is a rescue dog. She's still learning. We haven't had her but a few months, and she hasn't learned that you're supposed to be quiet when I'm making videos. So she's wanting to play, and she gets yippy. Okay, So now we have a pocket here and we have a pocket here. In the front pocket, I'm going to put this, which is a birthday card. It is vintage. I got this in the Outer Banks. I got a whole scrapbook full of German scrap and just all kinds of really cool ephemera. And I'm still trying to use it all up. So I'm going to put that in there. And then this is from the kit. And it is printed on cardstock, so it's a little bit thicker. I'm going to leave the back white, but I am going to ink around the edges. And I'm just going to stick it down in there so you can journal on the back of it if you want to. Ink it up a little bit. Ink it up on the back a little bit so it's not so white. I'm using vintage photo around the edges. For most of this stuff. So it's going to go down in there, and that's just another little red element. And then in the back, I have, this is a original piece of ephemera, and it's a war ration book. It does have, it has been completely used, but this certificate of register is really cool. And it says that this particular book belonged to a blue-brown eyed. Now, I'm not sure what a blue-brown eye is. Light brown hair, 6-year-old female. That was 3 foot 10 inches tall and 46 pounds. So this was this particular little girl, Marlene Marshall, from Bethel, Maine. This was her war ration that she was allowed. These are very cool. I got a envelope full of them. Most of them are empty. There are a couple that still have the stamps down at the bottom, a couple of stamps, but most of them are empty. But I just think they're really cool. Not that I think that it was cool that we were at war, but it's just a great piece of ephemera that has lasted all this time. Did I tell you the date? It does not have a date. Oh, 1942. So that is going to go down in there. And then I have this little girl from the kit that I thought fit the description pretty well. I think that's a little girl. But this is from the Attic Ephemera kit. And I'm going to stick that in there. And up in the corner, I'm going to put this little piece of lace in this little doily and this button. And I'm going to put it right up in the corner of the picture like that. And I'm actually thinking this is a piece of eco-dyed paper that I just kind of folded up. And it has the pink on it. And I think I may glue the photo onto this, and then you can unfold it and write all on the inside. So let's do that, and then we'll glue the little lace and stuff up in the corner. like that. And then I'll take the Fabri-Tac and just kind of glue these other pieces on here. If I can get it on here. I always end up getting Fabri-Tac all over me because it is just, it sticks to everything when you're trying to glue it. I think that's actually supposed to go that way. This button. Oh, I got a big glob of glue on there. Why am I not surprised? Just wipe that off. If you ever do get glue on, I would suggest getting one of these, which is a glue eraser, and you can just rub it on there and it'll rub the glue right off. I got mine in an art supply store, but I think you can get them on Amazon as well. But they're really good for getting off glue from where it doesn't belong. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of more ink around the edges. I'm trying to create a lot of places to write in this one. I don't write in journals. I'm more of a visual journalist. I love to go through and see the photographs and the vintage ephemera and stuff like that, or to do a travel journal and collect things from, you know, wherever I go to put in the journal. But I don't really write that much in a journal unless I'm jotting down, you know, where I've been or where I got something in particular. Okay, and then we're going to stick that behind the lace in the lace pocket. Like that. And then, like I said, I want to stencil this with the dots. Let me see if I can reach that stencil, and we'll go ahead and do it. If not, I can do it off camera. Okay. So this is Tim Holtz, like I said. And it's this stencil by Stampers Anonymous, and I don't see a number on it, but it just has random dots. And let me get my little finger dauber here that has that color on it. And I'm just going to randomly put some dots like that. And then I'm also going to put some that are tea dye. If I can get my dauber back in here. Get my tea dye. Distress Oxide. And again, just put some random dots. Oops, I still haven't replaced the dauber on there. And then for Vintage Photo, I'm going to put a few as well, just to get a little bit of darker color. And there we go. All right, so that is that one. All right, we'll continue through here. This one, I did a tuck here behind the books. I did color a couple of the books red, just to put a red element in here, and I also colored these red. This is an envelope from the kit, and I have a digital of a receipt back here, and on this side I did this, which is from the kit, and I made this pocket, and this is from the kit. This is a washi sticker, and I put this little label around the bottle, and then I have a tag back here. This tag is printed on newsprint, so it's not bulky at all, but I like the colors with what was going on, so I just kind of stuck it back in here. And you can write on the back of that, of course. And then I want to put this little Tim Holtz, what are these called? Flashcards. Thank you for sending it through the YouTube. Telepathy signal there to remind me of the word. And I want to put this right here. So I'm going to glue that on. Right like that. Okay, so that's all we needed to do there. And moving on. We did this one the other day with the journal card back here. All right, here's where we are now. For this one, I'm going to create a pocket with this little digital and I had originally folded this page up in the corner. I think I'm going to leave it that way. It's going to show on the other side, but we'll do something on the other side to take care of that. So I'm going to glue this on. We'll think around the edges. I don't remember who I got this digital from, but I do know that it is from a journaler in the Ukraine. when the war in Ukraine started, I bought several digitals to try and help support the makers over there. I think I am going to unfold it for now. So that they would continue to have some income during their struggles. Alright, and then this is from the kit, and I'm going to put a label over this gentleman because I like it is, but I don't feel like it fits into my layout the way that I'm using it, so I'm going to cover it up with a different label. I love amber glass. I collect it, and I don't have a huge collection. I wish it was bigger, but it is one of my favorite things, and I use it in my guest room, bathroom, because it goes well with the colors that I have in that bathroom. That may be too much information for you guys, but there you go. So I'm going to put that right over that, and then we're going to put that right here. And I'm just going to glue it. I'm not going to glue the neck and the top because it overhangs the pocket. So I'm just going to glue the bottom part. And then this is a merchandise coin that was used to get food and whatever else you needed from a mine, if you were a miner. So I'm going to put that right there. Just like that. This photo is from the kit. So I'm going to ink it up, age it up a little bit. I did a mining journal that is available on my YouTube channel if you did not see that. I live in a mining town, or the mine is still open actually. It's not as many people work there. It's a zinc mine. But the town was founded on a mine. So I have a book all about it, and it was of interest to me, so I did a mining journal. It was one of my favorites, actually. So we're going to put them down in there like that, and then I have a couple of things here. This is a photocopy of a genuine receipt for some coal, purchase of some coal. So we're going to have to get rid of this totally white here. I'm going to go around the edges with some vintage photo. And these receipts, when I got them, the original ones were actually this white. So, because when I ran the copy, I ran a color copy. So, you're getting the real color of what they were when I got them, which is amazing because they're dated 1937 and they were still that white. Okay, so I got that kind of grunged up, and we're going to put that back there. And then this is a piece of Tim Holtz ephemera. It's, you know, on a thicker cardstock, and you can certainly write on the back. It also has kind of a shiny surface to the front of it. But this is a, like a repair tag kind of thing. So we're going to put that there. All right. So, oh, and I have this digital that I want to put on this page. And I'm going to leave it as it is and glue it. Actually, I'm going to paper clip it, I think. I'm just going to paper clip it onto this ledger. Because I want it to peek out like that. So that's that side. And then on this side, I have a belly band that I've had in my stash for quite a while. It's just a piece of lace in the back, piece of scrapbook paper, some corrugated cardboard, and then I put these little cogs in with brads and made a belly band. There's a little scrap lace with a safety pin holding some little scrap papers on there, and I'm going to glue it at the bottom. Let's see, use Fabri-Tac again. And then I'm going to trim it off. You can see it's just a little too long, because when I made these, I made them so that you could trim them off if you needed to for whatever size journal you're working on. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut that evenly with the top of the page. Okay, just so I can see where I need to cut it. It is quite thick. See, this is where I end up with all the bulky stuff, because I make all this stuff that's bulky. Try to get that straight. There we go. Get my little scraps out of the way. I could have left that a little longer, but that's all right. And then glue the top. I should have trimmed it and glued it, or trimmed it before I glued the bottom. That's what I'm trying to say. Come on, glue, don't fail me now. Okay. Sorry if all that spinning's making you dizzy. Alrighty, so now I'm going to clip this portrait up at the top. I just love these little shabby portrait looking pieces. Or so you outdid yourself on this one. Love it. And then I'm going to clip that on with this rusty binder clip. And then I have this envelope from the kit. It's not really an envelope, but it looks like an envelope. As another journaling spot. And I'm going to stick that behind the belly band. Oh, and I'm going to put this. This is a button from the kit. And I'm going to put it on the top of that picture. So you can kind of use it to pull it out if you want to. And I'll have to ink the back of it. Or actually, I'm going to put this one on the back. So, let me do this one first. And then put this one on the back. And then we'll ink around. Actually, I'm going to cut around those, I think. To get the little bit of white that's showing on both sides. There we go. All right, now I think I'm just going to wrap that where it was hanging over the page. I'm just going to wrap it around the edge and glue it. Just like that. This is printed on, like I said, just regular copy paper. If you wanted it to be a little stiffer, then you could glue it on some cardstock or even put another piece of tea-dyed paper behind it. I'm not trying to add any more bulk than I have already, so I'm going to leave it. And if you'll notice, the piece of ledger behind it is folded up, so you really could have another tuck spot here if you wanted to, or you could unfold it and journal on it like that. Okay, and I think this is the last page that I did. It has some original advertisements from the 1930s for Shirley Temple dolls, and I put tea-dyed paper on the back. There is a couple of those. This picture is from the kit. This is from the kit, which is picture books for little children that I stuck down in there. And then I have this portrait of this little girl. And then in the back, I have just a piece of children's writing paper with a little piece of Tim Holtz ephemera attached to that. And then down here at the bottom, I put this piece of Tim Holtz film strip with a fussy cut of a camera. from the kit. So did I get everything? I was thinking I had one more layout. Let's flip back through and make sure. Love the way this one came out. Isn't it cute? May have been the last one that I have ready. Obviously I'm about finished with this one. Just simply because it's not going to hold much more. I could keep on forever, but it's not going to hold much more. So I have to make myself quit. I will go back, and any of the paper clips that are on the back side of pages that don't have something in them, I'll take some of the leftover photos or something that I have from the kit and stick in those places. I guess that was the last one, guys. So that's where we stand. Obviously, we still have the back and the front to do. So that will be my next video, is doing the back and the front. Figuring out how we're going to keep this bad boy closed since it is so chunky. And a few minor touches. And our project for November for Sweet Pea Curiosities will be finished. I encourage you guys to go check out her digitals in her store on Etsy. I was already a big fan before I was given the opportunity to be on the design team, because of the way that I prefer to journal, which is to use the more vintage kind of looking digitals along with my original ephemera. She is the perfect match for me, as far as that goes. As a matter of fact, if you do want to go and watch the videos on the mining journal that I made, I also used her digitals in that one as well. So be sure and check those out, because the kit that I used for that was gorgeous as well. That's it. Tuesdays, which were normally the Nothing But Neutrals or the color combo challenges that I normally do for the year, I've ended those until after the holidays. So Tuesdays are now going to be holiday makes. I'm going to be making things Christmas and winter, and hopefully I can come up with some ideas for you guys that maybe you haven't seen, or if you have, maybe my take is a little bit different than what you've seen in the past. So I hope you will join me for that. I'll still be doing the I Thought on Pinterest on Thursdays for as long as I can find pins to make. I know that I have a ton of videos in my playlist for that. When I first started it, I had no idea that I would be able to find stuff to keep me busy with that one for as long as I have. So be sure and check those out if you haven't. It's fun to look at something on Pinterest and then kind of make it your own. And I guess that's it for today, guys. So I will see you guys back tomorrow. And again, thank you to all our veterans. Thank you for your service. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.